Hi, this is Numeric Citizen. What can we do while we wait for the next wow moment from Cradft? Let's find out. I've been a bit quiet in recent weeks because the past releases of Cradft were kind of not really big updates in my opinion. And so what we can do today is to look at those past releases in a bunch, and then I'll share some comments on where I'm seeing how things are going right now regarding Cradft. For those who are wondering if I'm still loving Cradft, and their answer is yes, I'm still in love with this software. I think it's one of the best multi-platform software on the Mac and on iOS and iPadOS device, and also on Windows and on the web. So I think it's a really good program. So I want to make sure that this is clear in your mind. That being said, I'm still critical about how things are going, and this is why I'm keeping my work of analyzing and commenting what's going on with each release of Cradft. So let's look at the recent releases. The release a way for resolving common threads. So if you want to mark a thread like as a resolved or closed, you can now do that. And this is something that we can do in other software like Microsoft Word, for example. You can also sign in with Microsoft on top of Google and Apple signing with Apple. There's also a multi-common threads that you can have on a single block. This is something that I did not experiment myself, but I do experiment with threads because I do have comments from people visiting my different document that I share online. So and also we got an update about a summer update of where things are going. Some people would say that this is a kind of a roadmap where Cradft is headed. I would say that it's more like a peek into some sort of roadmap. Again, Cradft is very opaque on this subject. They don't share often where things are going to be. But they did share something here in the summer update that was released a few weeks ago. And what we learn in this update is the fact that the table of content feature that was made available earlier this year, I think it goes back to last February, where they introduced the table of content feature on the web. This thing here, if you look at the Cradft Bible, now you can see there's a table of content that is available, and this table of content is built from the headers in your document. And we've been waiting for this to come to the native apps on the Mac or on the iPad, and for some reason it's taking a long time before it's happening, and it's hard to understand why from a user perspective. You have to be, I guess, in software development to understand what's going on, but again, it takes forever, and we're still waiting for an option to turn that off. I mean, it's on by default and you cannot do anything about it. So if your document is not suitable for creating a table of content, then you have no control of what is going to be on the website as soon as we share your document online. So this is something I wish Cradft would address in a recent release. So again, we had a commitment to bring this table of content feature on other apps. YouTube embeds are coming to Cradft. Finally, I would say. This is a kind of a pretty basic use case for embedding content inside Cradft besides the bookmarks. I think the next one these days is to use to be able to embed videos. I would be the first one to use this feature in order to update my YouTube page, where I list all in my digital garden, where I list all my recently published YouTube videos. Right now, I'm kind of simulating embeds by using a specific format for cards with cards, but now this is going to be available soon. I don't know how long soon, but it will be available on eventually I guess by the end of this year. So waiting for that one to come. There's also a more finer control on how you are sharing your folders, who will be able to access that. So you have more control into that. No words on when it's coming. Um, Also, you'll be able to share documents for edit, and people will be able to edit the document even if they don't have a Cradft account, which is something that I think it's cool. This could be one game changer for people using Cradft with others. Um, Image handling is supposed to be vastly improved. It remains to be seen how much improved it will be. Um, right now, as I wrote in the past, I don't think Cradft is a good solution for photographer to share their work online. So I'm expecting these image handling 2.0 improvements to maybe change the game in this respect. So what I'm seeing right now, it's kind of nice first because there is no gray background around the images, but I hope that we'll be able to resize, reposition, and not only to the inline image in the document, but also in the top, the header image where we would like to maybe change the format, reposition the content to better fit our needs in this respect. Also, in the same vein of YouTube embeds, there's other type of link previews coming in Cradft. They mentioned about something about GitHub, Figma, Spotify, Apple Music. What they don't see, what they don't tell though, is how a user will interact with those. What kind of feature this will bring to the Cradft document. If this is something more like what we have currently with web bookmarks, or if there is more than that. It would be interesting to see how this is implemented and how fast they will add those to the base product. So again, this is going to be in the upcoming weeks before the end of the year. I was kind of curious to see how the update pace this year compares to last year. And if I go back in this in a document where I'm analyzing the pace of past release. If you go in this analysis of Cradft releases document, I'll share the link in the show note. You'll see that there is a list of all the past releases, and if I go back in the last summer, I think the pace was a bit faster and more significant in which features they added. They added analytics last year. They added focus mode. Those were kind of things that were kind of changing or augmenting the base or the core Cradft experience. We didn't see, there's the custom domain. Again, this is a very big feature for those asking for custom domain, but I think this year the releases are a little bit less game changer. I think they are kind of slowed down by Apple releasing major release to their operating systems. I did experience some bugs on the iPad running iPad OS 17 with text editing, and I think the Cradft team struggles to keep up with all the bugs that those releases are creating in Cradft. So that could explain why we are exposed with less meaningful update this year. Also, if I look at the recent changes, if I look at this specific document, as you can see, there is a way for a user to react to what we share online. And also when you do so, you can just set your name so that we can see who is reacting to that. And it's funny because some people don't like my recent analysis regarding recent Cradft release, and so they kind of sign in with a bunch of poo, I guess, and then they kind of add those. This is this is funny, but yeah, I guess this is normal thing. As soon as you share something online, then you can expect that kind of behavior. So, and the way you add a reaction is that just by clicking that, and then you will be able to select one of the emojis. Also, you can, as we used to do, add a comment. And I like the way it is displayed. I like the look and feel of that. If I go in Craft, and this is, yeah, this is the last release. I was looking at what the release last year, and again, there was a lot of much more meaningful updates. If I go in the this document here, and I'll show you how we can work with threads. So I have a document, a threads here, and this is my own experimentation with the feature. I can mark this thread as resolved. One thing that we have to know is that some threads that were created back, like I don't know how far back, but for some compatibility issue challenge, you cannot resolve back some older threads because of compatibility issues. This is something that one of the guys at Craft clarified on Slack. So I can mark that as resolved. And the same problem again, if I go to the Craft Bible, they introduce that, but they don't fix all problem. And one of the problem I'm trying to explain in the recent analysis is that if I go to the guest book here, the last comment I got was 6 days ago. If I click on that, I'm presented with the first comment made a year ago, and I have to scroll down until the end of the thread and then find what's new. And I think this is something that the must fix. It's been like that since the very beginning. So they add a bunch of stuff to this, but they don't fix this basic problem. And I think it's frustrating to see those things not being fixed. And it was reported many times on Slack, by the way, if you are wondering. So this is still an issue. And then this is the type of thread that I won't be resolving anytime soon because I want to keep those comments coming. And this is a guest book in the Craft Bible. So this is something that they added. One of the things that they added, and I was kind of, wow, finally they made it, is that they made the editing experience compatible with Grammarly. So if you are using this spell checker with Craft to correct your grammar and syntax, now it's working perfectly well with Grammarly. And this is, for me, very helpful because I used to do my spell check in Ulysses, which is a text editor, but now I can do that most of it inside of Craft. And then when I export that to Ulysses, well, then there's a lot less work to do, and I'm pretty ready to share online the content. So yeah, this is the Grammarly edition is kind of a nice welcome addition to the Craft core experience. So yeah, this is what I've been testing this summer. Now we'll see how things going in the upcoming weeks and months until the end of this year. A few more things to mention is the fact that they added a kind of a common hint if you are in Craft and you're at the beginning of an empty block. If you do nothing, then there will be this hint that will be shown to remind you that you can use a slash command for accessing the quick action. So this is something that they added. And the other thing in the latest update, and then I didn't know that, is that when you are entering something like that in Craft, there is a conversion of things. So you can have like 50 kilometers in miles, and then you click on the pop-up, you'll be able to convert that instantly within Craft. And I think it's pretty cool to be able to do that. I didn't know that. I hope that they will. I didn't experience myself um, with this feature, but I hope that they will expand on this conversion thing, because I think it can be pretty useful for those uh, doing that type of thing in their document. And this is, I think this is really, really, really nice to be able to do that. Yeah, this is the thing. Oh, and yeah, the other thing that they change is if I go in a document, let's say I go in this, let's say in the Apple Rumor Hub. If you remember, when we used to copy a block, there was a little bubble, a pop-up window coming up here for a few seconds to tell you that just copied something in the clipboard. They redesigned that in a recent release, and this is how it looked now. So what you see at the bottom right here is that the same kind of feedback telling you that you copied something to the clipboard, like 1 block, 2 blocks. And if you wait for a few moments, it will eventually disappear, which is right now. But they did that in order to allow for more action to be notified. So if I copy this block, copy, you'll see it will be coming there. Copy, you'll see there's a few of those that will stack up in. So if you are working fast, those will kind of add up to the pile. Um, I think it's a good thing. It's less obstructive to have those at the bottom of the document. And this is one of the thing that they change in one of the latest release of Cradft. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you like it. I hope you learned a few things. You may agree with me or disagree. I'm fine with that. If you are willing to share a few comments down below this video, please do so. And wait for the next update. As soon as there is something meaningful from Cradft, I'll be more than happy to create a new video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being there. And see you guys for another one. Bye.